Welcome to Brain Blast, the podcast that explodes your mind with awesome science and history facts.
I'm Alex, your favorite curious kid, and with me is our resident science expert, Jordan. Jordan, why are you currently tangled in 30 feet of curly wire?
Help me, Alex. I tripped over an antique telephone cord. Before cell phones, you actually had to be attached to the wall to talk to people.
No way. That sounds like a trap. Today on Brain Blast, we are dialing into a world-changing invention, the telephone. But wait, Jordan, how did people talk to their friends far away before phones even existed?
Well, Alex, before the 1870s, if you wanted to tell your friend a joke quickly, you had to use the telegraph. It sent electrical pulses over wires using Morse code. Imagine texting, but you only have one button and it's super slow.
That sounds terrible for group chats. Knock, stop, who is, stop, there, stop. You'd fall asleep before the punchline. Or worse, sending a letter by horse. By the time they read your joke, it wouldn't even be funny anymore.
Exactly. The world needed a faster way to communicate. Enter a man named Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, who decided, hey, what if we send actual voices over a wire instead of just beeps?
Act 2, the science of the speak. So Jordan, how does a telephone actually turn my voice into electricity? Is it tiny wizards living in the plastic?
Great guess, but no wizards here. When you speak, your vocal cords create sound waves in the air. Inside the mouthpiece of a telephone is a super thin piece of metal called a diaphragm. Your sound waves hit it and make it bounce like a microscopic trampoline.
Whoa, so my voice is doing flips?
Exactly. That bouncing diaphragm gets pushed into a magnet, which magically, well, scientifically, turns your sound waves into an electrical current. That electricity zooms down a copper wire all the way to your friend's phone.
And then what happens? Does the electricity zap their ear?
Ouch! No, the earpiece does the exact reverse. It takes the electricity, uses a magnet to vibrate another diaphragm, and turns it back into sound waves. It's like a secret electrical translation.
That is mind-blowing. What were the very first words ever spoken on a phone? Was it, "Is my hair okay?"
Close. Alexander Graham Bell called his assistant in the next room and said, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." And it worked. Watson heard his voice through the wire.
Act 3, dialing up the world. So the phone worked, but how did it change the world?
It made the entire planet shrink, Alex. Before, businesses had to wait days for letters to arrive to make a deal. With the phone, boom, instant teamwork. Plus, it made people way safer. Imagine trying to call a fire truck with a carrier pigeon. "Please fly fast, my kitchen is on fire."
Oh man, that pigeon would definitely get distracted by a French fry. So phones made emergency rescues way faster.
Absolutely. And it created a ton of new jobs. Early phones didn't have numbers you could dial yourself. You picked up the phone and a real human called an operator would answer. You'd say, "Connect me to the bakery," and they would manually plug your wire into the bakery's wire on a giant wall called a switchboard.
So they literally plugged you into the bakery. That's wild. Eventually, we got rotary phones where you had to spin a dial, and now we have smartphones without any wires at all.
Yep. The telephone paved the way for radio, the internet, texting, and yes, streaming your favorite cat videos. From Bell's single wire to millions of miles of global cables and invisible cell towers.
Act 4, hanging up. So the telephone took us from slow letters and beeping telegraphs to instant worldwide chatting.
It truly revolutionized business, safety, and socializing. It proved that human connection is just a ring away. The telephone didn't just change the world, it gave the world a voice.
Well said, Jordan. Now let's get you untangled from that antique phone cord before you trip again. Oops, too late.
I'm okay, just dial 911. Oh wait, my phone is unplugged.
Thanks for dialing in to Brain Blast. Keep asking questions.
And keep your brains blasting.